Welcome, namaste. So we are going to just go through a 5 to 10 minute just gentle meditation. Just a way of, if you haven't ever done meditation before, this is a really nice way just to basically introduce yourself to it. So it's obviously very difficult for us to shut off our minds. And I hear a lot that people say to me, I can't meditate, I can't make my brain stop, I can't make the thoughts stop. And don't fall into the trap thinking that that has to happen. It doesn't. You're never going to stop the thoughts coming in. It's just allowing yourself not to attach yourself to those thoughts and distract yourself away from your meditation. So the thoughts will always come in, but rather than become attached to those thoughts and start then thinking even more and more and more about whatever that thought may be, it's about just allowing the thoughts to just kind of pass on through or remain still. So I refer to it, and as a lot of people do, as the monkey mind. This thing, you know, you can imagine this little crazy monkey in your head always sort of tapping away, doesn't like when our mind becomes quiet, can't sit still, that kind of thing. And that's exactly what the mind is like. So we're going to have a little practice just for 5 minutes. I'm going to show you some breathing techniques which will be able to help, hopefully. The main thing is, if you have never done meditation before, it's going to be very challenging for you to do it at home with distractions. Obviously in time, it's quite good to put yourself in a position where you have those distractions, because that is a real good way of testing how you can focus your mind to your meditation and not what's going on around you. But initially, don't set yourself up to just sort of, you know, find it difficult. Find a nice quiet time, whether it be when the kids are in bed, when you have time to yourself, you know, shut yourself in a room where you know you're not going to get disturbed, whatever it may be. Just find yourself there. Also, it's quite nice if some of you have crystals, if you use crystals, just to have it in your hand, really, because it takes the awareness to that thing in your hand and not just sitting there tapping your hands and noticing kind of, you know, things that are propping up in the body, achy back. It will happen. I'm not saying it won't, it will, but it's about, obviously, again, bringing the awareness to the breath and trying to focus on that. So before we go on, I'm going to give you a breathing technique that I find has helped massively with my meditation, also with my yoga, my asana practice, and I always come back to it. It's a really, really nice breath. It's a heating breath, so it is good to use with your practice, but also it's just really calming, and you can kind of bring a visualization in with it as well. So this is called your Ujjayi breath. It is used in practice, especially if you go to an Ashtanga class, you will hear a lot of deep breathing, but I also use it for calming as well. The easiest way to describe it, I find, is that it is an imitation of the ocean sound. So that inhale is the waves coming in, and the exhale is the waves going out, and that is what I visualize when I do this breath. If you're quite have yoga in your practice and you've been doing it for a while, you might be able to have a retention. So when you inhale, you have a pause, and when you exhale, it goes out. If not, just inhale, exhale. So you don't have to have a retention, but if you do, if you've been practicing for a while, it's quite nice to have that retention. And also with your breath, if you haven't done yoga before, or if you're new to yoga, you may not have heard about how we expand our abdomen. So when you inhale, so if you're just sitting there normally now and you're inhaling and exhaling, hopefully you are, you will take your awareness to your abdomen. So don't try and force anything, just notice what's happening. Notice the movement of the abdomen and when the abdomen comes out, whether it's on an inhale or an exhale. So if you are inhaling and your belly is drawing in, you want to try and reverse that. It's going to be hard initially, but the more and more you come back to it, the more it will happen naturally. I had to reverse mine. I found it really difficult, but then now that's just how I breathe. So when you inhale, you want to expand the belly like a balloon. So if you think about it, when we inhale, we're trying to take in air to our lungs. So we need space to enable our lungs to expand. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to take in as much oxygen as we should. So inhale, expand the belly, the chest, the ribs. Focus on the belly initially. And when you exhale, the belly, the navel draws in towards the spine and you get that kind of... And again, that allows all the stagnant energy that we've held just to release. So inhale, expand. Exhale, draw the belly in, or navel in. Inhale, exhale. And then just continue doing this. Maybe close the eyes. And start to see if you can deepen your breath. So you want to create an audible sound, that ocean wave breath. So we'll go into Ujjayi breath properly later, and the technique properly, but just simply imagine the ocean wave. So don't worry about anything else, just breathe in, expand, breathe out, navel draws in, inhale, exhale. Carry on at your own pace. Don't be afraid to make the breath really audible. So in classes sometimes I think people are a little bit shy about really inhaling and exhaling, but there's nothing better when you're a teacher to hear everyone's breath. So just gently flowing with your inhales to expand, exhales to draw the belly in. As you inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, release. And just notice whilst you're breathing here, notice what's going on with the spine. So press yourself down through your sit bones and find a little bit of lift in your spine. Try not to tense anywhere. Everyone has natural curves in their spine, but just bring a little bit of lift. So imagine almost a piece of string at the top of your head and pulling you up from the crown. Notice if the shoulders are lifting up towards the ears, and if they are, just relax them back and down. Palms can either just come to your knees, into your lap, or palms facing up to the ceiling, expanding through the fingers. Find wherever is comfortable. You can also sit upon a block if you're finding this quite challenging. Just stay with your breath, deep inhales, deep exhales. Notice any thoughts that might be popping in. Monkey mind be getting quite upset now, starting to send you random thoughts, but just bring your attention to your breath. Focus on the grounding, the lifting. Deep inhales, expand. Deep exhales, belly draws in. Softness in the shoulders, the neck, the face. I'm just staying here for a few more breaths. Staying with the breath. And then just when you're ready, just very gently open the eyes. Bring yourself back to the room. So hopefully that has given you a few little tips. That is literally just a basic introduction to meditation, but I think it's quite important for everyone to know the things that typically people kind of fall up over. So yeah, just maybe try that a few times. If sitting cross-legged isn't comfortable for you, you can sit on a cushion, a block, even on a chair. But just focusing on the breath initially, and then maybe, you know, during time you might find that you're able to sit for a little bit longer. So you can use this video and pause and just focus on the breath for as long as you like. If the silence is difficult for you, you can put some very gentle meditation music on in the background. I had to do that initially. Now I actually just really encourage people to use the silence because it's good practice. But if it's your very first time meditating or very new to it, or you've struggled with it before, there's nothing wrong with putting a bit of music on, as long as it's kind of not got too many different changes in the beat. So it's a nice flowing music. There is a lot on YouTube as well that you can use, so feel free to practice. But yeah, hopefully you found that nice and calming. Even if you do a couple of deep breaths a day, it will really, really help you during this very uncertain, stressful time. So hopefully you'll find it a little bit of help. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you for some more videos, hopefully. Thank you very much. Namaste.